Is this thing on? Let's see. Whoop. Got it? Okay, I think I got it now. Hello, I'm Professor Miller, and welcome to my MeTube channel. And today, we're going to go over something very important, something that could blow your mind. And it's in relationship to a question that somebody wrote me about and asked me about a paradox that somebody was talking about. And it's called the BanachTarski paradox. Can you see that there? Somebody wrote me about the BanachTarski paradox, and they were really confused about it and wondering what it meant, and they wanted me to explain it. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to explain the BanachTarski paradox. And you know, people like this, they see that name, BanachTarski, and they say, oh, it must be important because it's a Polish guy, it's got BanachTarski. Every time you see a ski at the end of something, they make it sound like it's so important and so hard to understand. But you know, it's really not. Actually, when you see a name with a ski at the end, it should cause you to understand that this is going to be something very, very simple. Because whoever has a ski at their name, at the end of their name, is actually a simpleton, somebody that doesn't understand all that much. Have you ever asked yourself, why do people end their name in ski? Why do Polish people like this always end their name in ski? It's because they don't know how to spell toboggan. That's why. And that should give you a clue that what we're going to do is something simple, because even a Polish guy with ski at the end of his name, because they like to put ski, they don't know how to spell toboggan. They don't know how to do that. But today, we will be talking about the BanachTarski or toboggan paradox. And I'm going to do a little video for you to show you what it's all about first. Okay, in the BanachTarski paradox, he proposes that you could take a piece of chocolate, just like what we have, and that if you cut out a piece of it and rearrange the molecules through a lot of really, he says, complicated math formulas, you could get the original back even with less material. And he uses a lot of math and physics, and they call that metaphysics, and they put big names on it to try and prove something. And he goes all this way to try and do it. Well, I'm going to show you how he thinks. We take a piece of chocolate, and we say it's this big to this big, and it's that way and that way. We see that. You see how big it is. And then he says, if we take this piece of chocolate and we take some of it away like that, and we have, now it looks like less chocolate because we have some over here. Okay, we're gonna put this back in the box like that. And you see how, ooh, it looks like it's less because it's not reaching the end point because we've taken some away. And he says, whoa, that's incredible. And then he goes, I can do something. If I use a lot of mathematical formulas and I enter the realm of infinity, I can make that chocolate look like the same it was when it started before we removed these pieces. Well, I'm going to show you a much easier way to make this chocolate appear to grow. Watch, we're just going to take the chocolate, and we're not going to use any math for this. We're just going to take this chocolate and watch. I'm going to rearrange it in its original form. And you know what? When I put it back down, whoa, it's the same size as it was before we started, before we cut these things out. And look, I did all that without any math. And that's how we're going to answer the BanachTarski paradox. And now when we talk about it, you're going to see that my way is so much more simpler because we're going to use a different type of math, a different type of physics in order to explain infinity and what infinity can do, because he thinks you can use infinity to make objects grow and make them bigger and make them double in size. Well, I have a way to make that is so much more powerful that we call this psychomath and psychophysics. And let's go back to our big board and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, we saw that the BanachTarski paradox is trying to show through use of math and normal math that even simpletons can use, can take an object, cut it in half, take a part away, and then through that math, make it grow again back to its original size. And we showed that that there's another way to do that, a very simple way without math. And I tell you, the way that I use works, and it works far better if you're dealing with blind people or with deaf people, because then they really understand and can't get it. It's so good. It works so well. But we're going to use a different type of math now, different than the BanachTarski paradox, because he uses a phrase, infinity. And he likes to talk about infinity and it being powerful and that you can do so much with infinity. Well, we're going to go over something that's very, very secretive, something that not many people, because only the super intellect understand what we're going to go over. And we're going to go over something that is going to blow infinity away. Let me show you. We're going to talk not about infinity, but we're going to, if we take infinity and we rotate it like this, do you know what you get? You get anti-infinity. And as we talk about anti-infinity, we're going to see that it's so much more stronger and powerful than infinity that you'll never go back to infinity again. Okay, so let's talk. This is what the people in normal math want to talk about. Infinity. And they like to use all their fancy equations and fancy math. And they like to put X and Y and Z's all over the board to try and talk about infinity. And I'm telling you, they're wasting their time because there's a mathematics and a physics called psychomath and psychophysics, which is the new edge, the cutting edge on the tip of the wave. It's like getting your surfboard and you're out there and you're on the tip because you're looking at anti-infinity. And we're going to talk about the difference between anti-infinity and infinity. See, infinity has all these numbers. And you can divide, and there's always more numbers. And it can drive people crazy because they're trying to deal with it in a simpleton way. But anti-infinity, it's not negative infinity, because negative infinity would just be that. And that's easy to deal with too, because that's just a bunch of numbers on this side of infinity. No, anti-infinity is the study of nothing. That's what makes it so much fun to work on. That's why the math, it's so hard because you're doing math about nothing. We're going to see that anti-infinity is really just when you have nothing. Everything is everything is gone. The physics and the math and anti-infinity are so complicated and so hard because you're dealing with nothing. Nothing. There's no X's, there's no Y's, there's no Z's. You know why? Because you're in the world of anti-infinity. And we're going to see that anti-infinity is so much better to study than infinity. This is where you want to be, in anti-infinity land. And I'm going to show you a demonstration that BanachTarski tried to use, and I'm going to show you that anti-infinity is so much better. Okay, in the BanachTarski paradox, they took one sphere, and they took that sphere and they said, if we, through our amazing amount of calculations and math and points in that sphere, we can, through our infinity model, if we remove all the points, we can make other spheres, as we see here. And they say, through their math, from that one sphere, they can make 6 more. That's quite a lot of spheres with their math that they use to make. And they use their infinity model. And they have these formulas. Well, I'm going to show you now, when you bring in anti-infinity, what it does to their model and what it does to the spheres they say they create. When you bring in anti-infinity is the realm of nothing. Everything is not even zero. It's not even there. Watch what happens when we bring in anti-infinity to that first sphere that they created. It will make it disappear when we bring in anti-infinity, because there is nothing there. Watch, we can bring that anti-infinity model to another one and make it also disappear. And if we bring in anti-infinity to these two, what happens? They're left with nothing. Now, let me tell you, which model is stronger? Which model is better? Infinity or well, of course the anti-infinity is better because it makes the infinity model go away. It makes all those calculations become meaningless because it leaves you with nothing. Watch, anti-infinity, if we go to this one, oh, what happens? Oh, all those formulas and everything in the sphere is gone. It's gone. And this one too, oh no, it's gone. Anti-infinity reigns supreme, and anti-infinity can reach all the way back to the original sphere, the one that BanachTarski starts with. And you know what anti-infinity does to it? Oh no, it's gone. All their math, all their formulas, all their supposed knowledge, and all their studying is useless when it comes to anti-infinity, because anti-infinity is about nothing. It removes all those equations. It removes all those little spheres that they make. So as we see, anti-infinity is where the real energy, the real knowledge, the real new math is at. Okay, so in our demonstrations, we proved to you how anti-infinity is so much stronger and so much better to use than infinity. Oh, little infinity over here has all its stuff, all its toys. But when in the light of anti-infinity, infinity disappears because there's nothing there. That's why you want to be studying anti-infinity, the study of nothing. And I hope through this demonstration you realize that the BanachTarski paradox is really a waste of time and nothing to be looked at, because this is where our energies should be, the study of nothing. Now, I would ask for you to read some books. I would ask for you to watch some videos on this, but you know what? There aren't any out there really, because there's just nothing written about nothing. That's why this is where the intellectuals go. That's why this is where I go, because I love reading books about nothing. Well, I want to thank you. This is Professor Miller again on my MeTube channel, and write me in with more questions because I would love to answer them. Goodbye.